This time on Dirty Curty Customs, we put a big old cam in the 55 Buick. What's going on, guys and girls? Welcome to Dirty Curty Customs. It's been a minute. I haven't really been putting out a ton of content lately, been super busy with work, but we're back and we're working on the 1955 Buick Super. I've acquired a bunch of parts for this thing and I'm ready to get it out. The weather's nice. So before we get into the content, don't be a lazy POS. Go down, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Do me a favor, it really helps the channel. Now let's get to the video. If you're new to the channel, this is a 1955 Buick Super. We're sitting on a 1973 Buick Electra chassis. We did this swap. It's got a Buick big block, a 455 Buick big block. Last time we drove it, it was overheating. Well, it got a little hot. This thing might need a new water pump and thermostat. She's puking like crazy. The front seal on the transmission blew, leaked all the transmission fluid out. We need a windshield. So if you have a 1955 Buick Super two-door hardtop windshield, let me know. Now let's take a look at all the other stuff I got. So you know, windshields, wheels and tires, wiring, none of that's fun. So we bought fun parts. We got ourselves an Edelbrock B4B aluminum intake. I got a Comp Cams Thumper Cam here, lifters, valve springs, push rods. We did get a water pump, a thermostat, a big old Brawler carburetor. Story on this, the guy had it posted as a 750 CFM Brawler for like 300 bucks. Go down there, he's like, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to tell you, it's an 850. So we're putting an 850 on her. New timing chain, we got some gaskets, new aluminum radiator, hoping this fits in there. We had to do a little bit of customizing to the other radiator that's in there that's leaking. So hopefully we can make that work. I also got a set of these US wheel, steel wheels, 17s. I wanted to go 20s, decided to go 17s. So I got a full set of these. I got a full set of brand new tires. So yeah, let's get to work. First on the docket, let's get this thing moved out of the way. Finally got to pump some gas. Let's move this thing over to the hose, give it a flush. All right, let's get this junky, leaky radiator out and get this engine flushed. We'll get the thermostat off because I don't want to put all my new parts on an engine that's probably full of rust. If you haven't seen this channel before, you don't know that this motor came out of a Buick that had been sitting since 1991. It runs good, but it's probably, yeah, that's brown, rusty. Okay, bottom hose. Gotta go underneath. Well, that's what the thermostat looked like inside the housing. Pretty gross. Go with the flush, getting some water in the oil pan. Look how brown that stuff is. I should have ran some of that flush stuff they have. You can throw it in your radiator and run it. It'll clean out your engine, but this should be okay. Get most of this junk out of here. It's already clearing up. Alright, let's see what's under door number 2. How neglected was this engine? Oh, not bad. Not bad. All right, valve covers are off. Looking pretty clean in there. A little bit of sludge, not bad. I don't see any issues. Sometimes these Buicks, when the cams start to wear out or the rocker shafts start to wear out, these little buttons in here will come out and your rocker arm will slip off. I don't know. I'm sure there's other issues. I don't know everything about Buick. All right, cam and lifters are out. Some of them were kind of hard to get out. I think they're a little mushroomed. The cam didn't look too bad. There wasn't any really lobes that were flat, but it's just old. 1971. Got the engine painted up. I got the new cam in, new timing chain on. I use this Detroit Diesel Alpine Green. This color actually came with the car. There was a box of this stuff in the trunk when I bought this car, so figured might as well use it. I hit it with some high heat primer ceramic stuff, and then this color. I think it'll look pretty good. Yeah, should look all right. Do the valve covers black, get that intake on here. So I'm gonna plop the lifters in next, and then we gotta do valve springs, but John Vanderford and Big E showed up. They're gonna help me pull this transmission out of here, so I think we're gonna move on to that after I get these lifters in. Say hi to the camera, Big E.
Hello.
These two guys know how to get down. They're gonna have this transmission out in like 10 minutes.
I just don't know how to get back up.
That's what she said.
We got the transmission done. I wouldn't have been able to get it done today without the help of these two guys. They're gonna help me. We're gonna pull these valve springs off now and get the rest of this engine put together.
I gotta keep the pool cleaner. On the seasons I gotta keep the pool cleaner. The old ones I didn't have to worry about.
You don't gotta worry about getting them dirty, John.
I already jumped by.
All right, he's jumping in, getting these last two on this side because my back couldn't handle it. You know how it is. I forgot, I'll put the cam card up on the screen for you guys. All right, y'all, time to stab the intake on. Woo! It's gonna be so beautiful. And I am no David Freiberger. I'm not good at this. Oh, actually the plop was pretty good. Is it not seating on there right though?
Not all the way down. How are we on?
It's probably these front. Oh, I see.
There's a pig.
I got it on.
Bath pig.
Can you see that one, E? Is that on? There we go.
It went.
Look at how beautiful this thing's gonna be. All right, the windshield just showed up, so I'm gonna unwrap this thing, see if it's the right one for the car. Oh, heck yeah, looks like it's the right one. They didn't have clear ones. This is like a green tint with a shade, which I actually like. I think it looks good, but we finally got a windshield for this thing. So let's get this car running, get the wheels and tires put on, get the doors adjusted, I think, hook up some whites, and then we can take this down and get the windshields put in this car, and I can finally drive it on the road legally. It's the moment of truth. I've been chipping away at this thing off camera. I got everything done, I think. I don't have the radiator mounted yet, but it is in full of water. We're full of some really good braking oil. And so it's time to prime this thing. We'll let the oil prime, see if we can get some fuel up to this carburetor, see if we can break this cam in. All right, guys, I've been cranking and cranking on this thing, and I'm finally getting some oil pressure. Come on, show the people. There, it's starting to go up. Yes. We're getting oil pressure. 20 or 15, about 25. Whew. All right, now we can start this thing. Alright guys, well that's it. We had a little issue halfway through. I had to shut it off. There was no way I could keep it running. The power wire for this, let me see if I can get some light, was on the manifold and melted through, was arcing, caught fire. I had to shut it off, readjust it. I haven't even retaped it or anything. It's just sitting there, bare wire, if you can see down there. So I had to shut it off, readjust it real fast, get it started back up. Hopefully that didn't screw anything up. And that explains why it was running kind of rough at first, because, you know, we were arcing out down there. Once I took that off, it was running perfectly smooth. It's so loud, I can't tell if there's any noise coming through, but now we got to pull these valve covers back off and put the inner springs back in the valve springs, and I want to redo these valve covers. Eli just kind of cleaned them up real quick and painted them black for me. And Eli also put the starter in, so I'm going to blame him for the power wire. Thanks, Biggie. So anyways, going to let it cool down, change the oil, pull the valve covers off, redo the valve springs, get this tack out of here, and then we could start it up and see what it sounds like idling, adjust the timing a little more, get this carburetor dialed in a little more. I do not have a carb tuning kit for this yet because they're like $160, but we'll dial it in the best we can. Brand new Wix filter. Should have went with a cheap filter on this, I guess. Kind of a waste of money. I just put this thing on here. Oh well. Oh yeah, we got lots of chunky cam stuff. No, not metal though. No metal in it. Just that coating that they put over the camshaft, looks like. It looks pretty good. You can see what I'm talking about here, that you can kind of see the black chunkiness in there. But no metal. We're good. I'm pretty sure we're good. Yeah, you guys can, I don't know if you guys can see all this little black chunky. It's like the coating they put on these cams. That's why you got to change your oil after you break them in, among other reasons. But I don't see any metal, which is a dang good sign that this cam was broken correctly. All right, we're going back in with some Valvoline VR1. I also bought some of this Lucas Zinc Plus engine break-in oil additive. I ran this stuff for the cam break-in too, so might as well run it again. This VR1 does have a lot of zinc in it already, but we'll throw a little extra in there just for the initial drives with this camshaft. My header showed up. Yes, put some headers on this thing, get the exhaust done, and then we can see what this cam sounds like at idle. All right, guys, let's open up some of these boxes and see what we got. This should be headers, xpipe, Black Widow Neighbor Hater mufflers, and I also got a big box of some 2.5-inch pipe, but we don't need to open that yet. Let's check these headers out. Check these beauties out. This is the one on the driver's side. I think we're going to have issues with it hitting the engine mount, the motor mounts. I don't know, but pretty good quality. These are, I believe, 1 7/8, so they should flow really well. Nice long tubes. Came with collectors and some header gaskets. So let's work on, and then the mufflers, I'm not going to open those yet, but let's work on getting the old manifolds off. Who decided that exhaust was going to be the fun job? Oh, man. If you guessed that 3 of the bolts were going to break, 1 was going to round off, and the other 3 were going to come out, you guessed right. And that's only on the driver's side. But we got it out. And the good thing about these ones that broke off, they come all the way through. I can get to the back side of them. So it shouldn't be too hard to get these out or drill them out if I have to. All right, guys. I wasn't able to get those other ones out with vice grips, so I'm going to have to drill them. But I had to see if this header was going to fit, and it looks like I'm touching right down here. So a little bit of modification, and that's it. Just dent that up a little bit. I'm probably going to have to relocate my fuel lines that are coming through here. No big deal. Looks like it's going to fit. Had to jack up the car, bring it up through the bottom, but them things are going to look awesome and sound good too. It's been a huge pain in my butt, but the headers are on, finally. I had 3 bolts break over there, 1 that I had to grind off because the head was rounded off. 4 of them over here wouldn't come out, so I just got ahead of it, cut them all off, and still had to fight and drill, and what a pain in my ass. But they're on, they're bolted up tight, so now we're gonna pull these valve covers back off, redo the paint. Eli did not do a good job cleaning these things up. They look terrible. So we're gonna pull the valve covers off, and then, I should have glued this. And then we have to put the inner valve springs back in for the dual valve springs. What I mean by that, when you're breaking in a flat tappet cam, it's recommended if you have dual springs to pull the inner springs out. So we pulled those out, broke the cam in. Now I got to take them all back off, put the inner springs back in. I'll show you guys. Here's the inner valve springs. I'm not 100% sure if you have to remove these, but we did it anyways just to be safe. So now we got to throw those back in. I got everything lined up. Let's see what this thing sounds like. Open header. beastly, baby. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. We got the Black Widow neighbor hater mufflers. These puppies are gonna be so loud still. The Black Widow X-pipe. If you guys haven't checked out Black Widow exhaust yet, I'm not sponsored by them, but they make awesome stuff. This piping kit, like I said, cheap Amazon stuff. The Black Widow stuff is a little pricey for stainless steel, you know, exhaust. I don't really need anything that looks nice, so I went with this cheap thing, but it should have the bends we need to throw the X-pipe on there, and then put the mufflers on and just probably dump it out the side. I'm not sure yet, but it comes with all the shapes you need. A couple of, I don't know what those are, 4-foot sticks, 5-foot sticks, whatever. So yeah, gonna be awesome. These guys make really good X-pipes. Goes straight through. Pretty awesome. Gonna sound wicked. I've never really heard a Buick 455 with a cam and an X-pipe and loud exhaust. So it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm excited to see what it sounds like. All right guys, this is what I got so far. I had to go buy a couple of 2.5-inch inside diameter couplers to get the angle right for the X-pipe. So I'm gonna glue it together. I'll try to. I'm gonna tack it and then finish building the rest of this out, and then we'll fully weld it up. All right, the X-pipe is tacked on. Obviously, we still have exhaust leaks. Let's start it up and see what it sounds like. Sounds awesome. All right, so now I've cut a piece of this straight pipe. I think we're just gonna have it dump out in front of the rear tires. So I've cut a piece to the length that I want. The muffler should sit up in there good, and then we'll build some kind of tailpipe off that. So I need to get a rough measurement on this and do the same thing for the other side. It's far from the best, but well, not too bad. I am not a professional welder. I'm not even a good welder, but I don't think that's gonna leak, and it's gonna hold, and that's what matters. All right guys, I pulled it out. I got it all welded up, so now I'm just gonna throw it in and then run down and get a couple hangers for it. It turned out pretty good. Welds, not so much, but it's all sealed up. Gonna look good under there. The exhaust is done. It's bolted on outside of a couple hangers. I got to go down to the parts store, get those hangers. Let's see what it sounds like with the X-pipe and the Black Widow neighbor haters. Sounds so good. Sounds freaking awesome. Yeah. I love it. we're done with all the engine work, the exhaust, all that. I got these 17-inch steel wheels. They're US wheels or whatever, and they're just bare metal. So I got some brake clean. We're gonna hit them with some brake clean and some microfiber towels. And then we'll hit them with some of this engine primer. I like this stuff because it's got ceramic in it, and it's actually a really good primer. I use that on everything. And then I got some of this heirloom white satin Rust-Oleum white. It's pretty close to the color of the roof. I don't know, it's not perfect match, but I had it sitting on the shelf. I bought this for something else, never used it. So we're gonna try it on these wheels, paint these wheels white. I got brand new tires to go on these wheels, and we'll take them down. We'll paint them tonight. We'll take them down in the morning, get them mounted up, and throw them on the car. All right, well, the color is a little more yellow than I thought it would be, but it's gonna have to do for now. It's all I got. So the good thing about spray paint is you can always spray paint it again, and you don't have to worry about it. You get a little scratch here or there, spray paint, perfect. I'm gonna let these dry up a little, put another coat on them, and then I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, guys, I got the tires mounted. They look pretty good. I'd do a little touch up on couple of these, but let's get them thrown on the car. What do you think? Do you like the 17s? I kind of wish I would have went with 20s, but the 17s look good. We still need to cut the springs in the front. It sits a little higher in the front, this car does, because the rear springs that I put on it are already cut. So comment down below, do you like the 17s? Do you like the white? It doesn't quite match the roof, but it's close. I'm gonna get some probably chrome spider caps. If you don't know what those are, I'll throw those up on the screen. I think we'll get the chrome spider caps, but I think they look pretty good. So we're getting closer to getting this thing done. Also, I have the correct dag bars, or ones that aren't cut, to go on the front bumpers. So we're gonna get that done. We need to get some lights wired in and work on adjusting the doors and fixing the driver's side window. And then we need to get the windshield and the rear window put in. So I decided that I want to do the doors next. It's been raining off and on, which is terrible, but this window never rolled up right, and I put this window in first. These windows were out of this car when I got it. I got everything in boxes for this car. So I put this window in on the driver's side first, and it never rolled up right. Something was weird about it, and there was an extra arm in there. I couldn't figure it out. Well, when I did the passenger side, I ended up figuring it out. I was missing a little railing in there that sits right here on the inside, and then it's got a little bushing thing, whatever, that goes in there. It's a little slide, goes in there and kind of keeps it stable in place. So I didn't figure it out until I did the passenger side. I got the passenger side in right, and I never took this one back apart. So I got the window out. I'm going to put this in, throw the windows back in, and then we need to adjust the doors. They're sitting too low. When there's no weight on them, they close fine. So we need to loosen up some of the bolts, raise it up. Yeah. So I'm going to get this done. Hopefully the rain holds out, and then we can try to wire up some tail lights on this thing. And then, I don't know what we'll do next. Here comes the rain, of course. The window in, and it rolls up and down all the way it's supposed to. So I'm pretty happy about that. And I got the doors adjusted. I got the little wing window cranks in, the door handles in. I have the armrest for it right here, but I need to get some longer screws. I also need to clean this up. And the door shuts nicely. Really good lines. Lines look good everywhere. Kind of a bigger gap up here on the fender, but not bad. Also, these Buicks have this little trim up here that opens and closes with the door. It's not one to close on the back side, probably a weak spring or something, but I'm gonna fix the passenger side now, adjust that door. I already kind of got it taken apart. So yeah, looking good. Car's coming together. All right guys, moving on to tail lights, because you gotta have at least brake lights. I found some of the original wiring that came with this car and the little prongs we need that go into these light bulbs. Thankfully I saved this stuff, so it looks pretty easy. We got 2 wires going into the tail light, 1 into the reverse light. Yeah, I don't know. So what we need to do is probably cut these and then figure out what wiring from the Buick Electra wiring harness, because that's what I have powering the engine in this and the fuse box and everything. So it's kind of more updated than 1955. It's still glass fuses, I think. We need to figure out what taillights came out of that fuse box and run some wires back here and hook this stuff up. So this car right here is what started it all, and it's got the whole taillight harness in it still. This is a 1973 Buick Electra that I bought for really cheap, and someone had cut the top off of it. So I had this car, I drove it for a little bit, and I just don't really like convertibles. It didn't have a top that you could ever put up, so it was pretty much useless here in the Pacific Northwest, because it rains, you know, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months out of the year, whatever. So I wanted to look for a car that had the same wheelbase. The chassis was a good chassis, good motor and tranny. I was like, man, what kind of body could I put on this car? And this is how the 1955 Buick Super all got started. It was this car right here, and it's about to give us some taillight wiring. So I'm going to rip this harness out. I'm going to see where it plugs in. I don't remember. Yeah. No, this car doesn't have a fuse box anymore. Yeah, this thing has just been cut into pieces. Sold some body panels off of it. Let's get these wires out of here. Alright guys, I think I got this figured out. I found the wire that goes to the brake switch, and I've grounded this taillight housing. There's 2 wires that come out of these. So the taillight housing is grounded. I got a green and a gray. The green seems to be the brighter light, so when I press my brake switch, boom. Brakes, no brakes. Brakes, no brakes. So then I just need to hook up a headlight switch with this gray wire, and I'll have taillights. Obviously I'm doing all this with short wires. I gotta run wires and to the back and everything, but bam, there we go. We got taillights. Perfect. We got brake lights anyways. I need you guys to watch, see if the brake lights work. Fingers and toes crossed. Please work, please work. Let me know. Are they working? Do we have brake lights? Well, did they work? Come on. It's hard to see, but I got a tail light working. I got just a temporary wire ran into my headlight switch. My headlight switch is turned on. I figured out which wire comes from the fuse box for the tail lights. Also got the dimmer switch hooked up, and if I run this headlight wire into the 73 Buick headlight wire and ground it, I need a better ground. We got headlight, boom. So now I just need to clean all this up and make it permanent. All right, y'all, it's a new day, and we got some beautiful weather today. It's really sunny out. So I tied up a bunch of stuff last night on this. I got a bunch of stuff done off camera. Got hangers on the exhaust, tied up the transmission lines, just a bunch of little odds and ends. So this morning I want to start it up, move it over so we can clean this out, because it's still full of just tons of stuff. All the trim, bolts, little dash pieces, all that stuff. I want to get it all out of here and then find the trim for the windows. I have the rubber seals, I have the windows. I want to get all the trim, make sure I have all the trim so we can get an appointment to get this thing, get the windows put in. And we also need to take this thing for a test drive. So after we clean it out, we're gonna go for a little drive. See if this baby will move. The window works way better. Good oil pressure, about 40, 45-ish. Temp staying at a little under 190. I'm gonna let it idle for a little bit, see what that temp does. All right, guys, I found all the front window trim. That's all the trim for the windshield. Perfect, yes. And I found all the stuff for the back window. So good. Seals. And just a bunch of other miscellaneous trim that needs to go on this car. I don't know if it ever will, but maybe someday. Still haven't fixed the ignition, so got to remember this is my key. Sounds rowdy. Vacuum on the brakes. I put a heavier spring in the distributor curve. I don't know if it's going to help or not. Woo! He's rowdy. Dash is still all loose. Should have put you guys on my head. Oh, we get a windshield in this thing, back window, put the dash together. I still want to hook up all these gauges, and I believe that I can now with this new intake, but for the first few drives, I want to have some more accurate gauges, because I don't trust these old ones. That's why they're just kind of hanging out like that. All right, she drives. Bit of dust, no smoke, good. Hood needs adjusted. It's a little rattly. Get up to the pavement here. I don't know how much gas I got. 20-ish, maybe below. Woo. She's rowdy. I don't know how much gas I got. I should probably turn around soon. Is so loud. Alright, I'm gonna try to turn around right here. Alright guys, the test drive went alright. I put a couple stiffer springs on the distributor, recurved it a little bit. I put a medium and a heavy one on there, I think. And my windshield guy was able to get me in at noon, so I cleaned it up. Now let's drive down and get the windshields put in. So far, drive is going good. Temp is staying down. Oil pressure's good. Just cruising. Transmission's shifting good. Hopefully we're not leaking anything. The window is right behind me. It's not broke yet. That's good. Just taking it easy till after we get the windows in. Probably really windy in the camera right now. They got the windows in. They could not get the trim on because I didn't have the clips. I think I might have some of the clips, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But the windshield's in finally, the back window's in finally, and I am stoked. Now I can drive this thing around. I need to throw some wipers on it. It is about to rain, but my wiper motor's not hooked up. So it looks good. I need to get the trim on there. The only piece of trim they got on was this top one. So there's some more pieces. You guys seen the pieces. So yeah, I need to get that figured out. Front bumper looking as ratty as ever, but I don't know. I might kind of keep it ratty. This probably looks better on camera, but there is a lot of scratches and stuff in this paint. So let's get her on the road. Here we go. How do I get out of here? You can't get out that way. And this way. Man, this thing is loud. Straight when I get on it. I'm also shifting it manually, but you can just put it in drive and it'll shift itself. Traffic. This thing needs shocks. The shocks are just whooped on this thing. I also don't have blinkers right now. Oops. Probably should be using hand signals. Alright, I gotta head to a soccer game. And then we'll go break these new Bald Eagle tires in the way you're supposed to. I got the window trim put in. It looks pretty good. I got some windshield wipers on it. Not bad. I didn't get the back window, I got the front window. So you know what that means. Time to go do some burnouts. Well guys, that is the end of the video. We still got to finish putting the interior together. We got some fine tuning to do, but overall I'm happy. The Buick is on the road. We got windows in it. We got a cam on it, badass exhaust. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you enjoy this content, and check us out next time on Dirty Curty Customs.